Alright YouTube, this is my 1986 Ford Bronco II. It's been in the family its whole life. I inherited it whenever my grandpa got in poor health. I think back in 2018, 2017, somewhere in there. Had the 2.9 liter V6 engine originally, and in 2020 the original engine it was tired. It was time for a replacement. Priced around at local shops. Basically the only rebuild you could get is a Jasper, and I couldn't read many good reviews on the Jasper rebuilds on the 2.9, so I just decided to make this proper Bronco the way it should have came from the factory with the V8. So this whole build, I'm trying to keep it to where it maintains its factory appearance. I don't want anything to look really out of place or anything look like it couldn't have came out of an 80s showroom. So I'm trying to keep everything somewhat period correct. Here's the under the hood here, a 302. It's got a mild cam, just a fresh rebuild on it. Did the AC delete to free up some more room underneath the hood. The headers I had custom made out of some place in Texas. I can't remember exactly the name of it. The R&L, I possibly, I can't remember. It's been several years. Transmission, I believe, is a C4 out of I think a early 70s Bronco. It's all been gone through. Just a 3-speed C4 transmission. Pertronics, electronic ignition on here. It's pretty standard under here. Just a standard 302. And it's got a 4-inch lift with Bilstein. I believe those are 5100s. Let's try to pan around under here. No cats. The exhaust, I believe, is a 2.5-inch exhaust with an H pipe and 2 Flowmaster 40 series. Let's see if I can find the H pipe in here. There it is. And here is the Holley fuel pump. I believe it's a red electric fuel pump. It's mounted to the frame right below the level of the tank. That's what gives the 7 psi for the carburetor. Paint's pretty much original. There's a couple little touch-ups here and there. I don't want to take away too much of the originality. My grandpa's had notes up here from where he worked on it over the years, so this is the date I finally finished the engine swap. Basically, I've just been fine-tuning it ever since, and I finally am at the point where I think I've got it where I want it. So there's a lot of trial and error on my end. I've never done this sort of thing before, but I'm very glad I ended up doing it. Runs, drives, and sounds like it should have back in '86. Why these didn't come with the V8 option from Ford, I don't know. That bumper sticker's been on there since it was new. My grandpa basically just used it as a farm truck. He took it through the fields, checked on his fields with it. I've just tried to polish it up the best I can and keep it original. Both bumpers are handmade. I actually did those. The original spare tire carrier that was on here, there's no way it was going to carry that 32-inch tire without doing some damage to the hatch and the body. So had to come up with that. Basically just bought a hitch as well, and I welded the bumper I made to that hitch, so it's all one piece that bolts to the frame. All the hardware, I believe, is off of like a Jeep XJ or something like that. Just twist that, and it swings open. Yeah, this thing has just been a project that's taken years to get to this stage. If you saw my last video I took of it, that was probably right after I did the V8 swap, so there's quite a few things that I've changed since then. The fuel system, the injection, or the electronic ignition I put on there, the points and condenser that I had on here before just kept burning up. So, you know, typical for the way things are going now. Everything's just cheap from China. Even the good stuff from that used to be good from O'Reilly's just isn't what it used to be. So take you inside of it now. It's all original in here except for the shifter and the gauges. But I tried to keep the gauges as period correct as I could. They're custom built from Speed Hut. I really like how they turned out. So let me grab the keys here and kick it over. Another mod I did, from the last video you saw, the Holley Street Warrior carburetor that I have on here. I had the electric choke. I ended up taking that off this winter and getting a Holley Street Warrior with a manual choke, because the electric choke had like a 30-second timer on it, and in the middle of the summer when you're driving it, it was just aggravating. Every time you go out to start it, you have to wait for that electric choke to idle down, otherwise it would kind of buck whenever you go into gear because the idle was high. But anyway, I took out the cigarette lighter and fabricated the manual choke in its spot. So again, I'm just trying to keep everything looking as factory as possible. Here we go. Now you just bump the key. She starts right up. With the Speed Hut gauge, it's got the GPS mounted on the dash over there to give us the speed. So if I ever change the tire size or anything like that, or the gearing, it's always, the speed's always going to be accurate. And the exhaust from the header's back, I had done at a local shop here in my town. It's true duals all the way back with the H-pipe in between. I think that just has the proper 80s sound with the Flowmaster 40 series. And another thing that I did since the last video, it's got dual calipers in the rear, dual Willwood calipers. See that other one over there? So that's the emergency brake, and I basically had to fabricate all the mounts and everything for this from scratch. Sorry, the camera's not picking it up, but yeah, Willwood dual calipers in the back. Tried to color match the block as best as I could. And as I said before, I did make this from scratch, this bumper. I basically bought a brush guard off of like a 1980 or 82 F350 or something like that. It was huge. Cut it into pieces and basically put it back together a lot smaller. Take you back inside from here. Those floor mats I found from, I believe I got them on eBay, but they came from like Slovakia or someplace over in Europe. Some guy makes these. I really like how plush they are. They really match the original OEM look. Everything's original in here. I did have the headliner redone a few years ago. I did that myself. Seats are original. And I actually did go back to the factory radio with a cassette player. So that just looks pure correct. On the drive shafts, I had custom made from, I believe Woody's was the place. Either out in Colorado or something like that, central United States somewhere. But they did a really good job. Actually, it might be on here. I believe there's a sticker on it. There's the sticker of who made the drive shafts for me. Couldn't be more pleased how it turned out. Here's that Holley fuel pump again. There's the C4 transmission. Let's see if you can see the... I wasn't able to find any sort of upgrade for the stock brakes, unfortunately. Yeah, if you have any questions on anything I left out on this video, just shoot me a message or a comment and I'll try to get back to you. It's just been a project that's been going on for 7, 8 years now, so there's a lot of stuff. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But thanks for watching.